Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World Dominion review. Today we're going to take a look at the Extreme Damage Dimetrodon. If you've been collecting the Jurassic World line for any amount of time, you'll know that the original Dino Rivals Dimetrodon is an extremely coveted figure. It's very rare. It goes for big bucks on the aftermarket. It was part of the first wave of the Dino Rivals Savage Strikes. I was lucky enough to find one in the stores back in the day, but it was not in stores for long. I remember when that wave came out. Like I said, it's the first wave in Dino Rivals. It was quickly replaced by the second wave, and that figure just absolutely disappeared. And a lot of people to this day are still looking for one and been waiting forever for Mattel to release a repaint of it. Well, they did a step better. They released this beautiful looking Extreme Damage version, which is a 100% new sculpt, and in my opinion, it's vastly superior to the original. Now, unfortunately, since this is the Extreme Damage figure, it is a Walmart exclusive in the US, so it might be a little harder for some people to get their hands on. It's not going to be a mass release figure. I actually got this from Walmart's site. I just went on there, ordered it, got shipped to me. So I'll leave that link down below in the description if you're having trouble trying to hunt this figure down. I have not seen any of the Extreme Damage in my Walmarts yet. And I go to the stores every single day because I'm always looking for Jurassic World stuff. Plus Transformers, so I'm always in Walmarts and Targets pretty much 7 days a week. And let's go with the packaging really quick before I crack this figure open. Comes in the Extreme Damage packaging. You got the logo down here, Jurassic World Dominion logo over here, Rexy. This is the same box art that we've been seeing on the Dominion figures, except they changed the color of it. Instead of being a nighttime scene, it's a sunrise, sunset, wherever it is. Spinning it around, you get a picture of the Dimetrodon and how all the action features work. All of it's controlled on the sail, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And down here are the other two figures available in the Extreme Damage line. We have the Solaris and the Velociraptor. Like I said, I've not seen any Extreme Damage figures at my Walmarts. I don't know if I'm pick up the Solaris. I already have a couple of them. I know it's a new sculpt. Just really not liking the paint job. That Raptor, I really want to get my hands on that. That looks great. It just reminds me of the Deinonychus from Primeval with that blue and white color scheme. So that will do it for the packaging. Let's crack this thing open and take a closer look. And let's start with this 360-degree view of the Dimetrodon. I really love how this figure came out. Like I said earlier, it's vastly superior to the old Dino Rivals version. Just love the bright green and the red sail. All contrast nicely together. You have these grayish paint apps on the head and at the base of the spine and on the sail itself. The sparse paint apps, but they really bring the whole package together. And Dimetrodon usually gets confused as a dinosaur. It's actually from the early Permian when no dinosaurs existed, 295 to 272 million years ago. And they actually belong to a group of animals called non-mammalian synapsids. I always mess up saying that. So if you look them up, they're on the evolutionary side of mammals. So yes, say hello to your great-great-grandfather, everybody. So yeah, really love how this figure turned out. And it kind of stinks. It is a Walmart exclusive, so not everyone's gonna be able to get their hands on it. But the Dimetrodon looks like it's making a couple appearances in the main Dominion line. There's a Dino Pack with Alan Grant coming out, and I think there's a Ferocious Pack 1 also scheduled. So we should be seeing this in at least a couple more times in the Dominion line. And now for some quick measurements. This figure is 7.5 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, and about 3.5 inches tall to the top of the sail. So one of the larger species of Dimetrodon is around 15 feet long. So I'll put this figure in the 1/24 scale range. And now let's zoom and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with this really nice head sculpt. The first thing you'll notice, it has this really deep inorbital fenestra on it. It's a skull opening. Dimetrodon didn't have that. It should be much more solid looking. It's really not that bad. Just from certain angles, you can really see the fenestra on there, but it's not a huge deal. Accuracy nerds might take huge issue with it. It really doesn't bother me. It's Jurassic World. I really can't kill these figures too much for their inaccuracies. We'll be here all day. You can see the fenestra and around the eye is decked out in this grayish paint. The eye is painted yellow with a black pupil. And you can see the whole head is just done in this beautifully pebbly scale texture. The teeth are nicely painted in like very proportionate, not big goofy teeth. We see these large dumb teeth on some smaller figures, and they look absolutely terrible, but it shows you Mattel can do proportionate teeth. I don't know why they do it. They always want to give these theropods these like exaggerated teeth, and it looks so bad in some of the smaller figures, and this looks actually quite nice. I'd like to see this more proportionate teeth like this on some of the smaller figures. Inside the mouth, you can see it's all decked out in glossy red paint. Roof of the mouth is not painted in. Here is a view from the top of the head. Nice wide head. Nice beautiful scale detail all on there. You get some of these large osteoderms that form a couple rows on the side of the body. Like I said, all around this figure is just beautifully, beautifully sculpted. Nice muscular looking forearms. The hand claws are not painted in. Same thing on the hind legs. Very thick and powerful looking. Those claws aren't painted in. Pretty typical for any figure in this size range. Going to the sail, you have some nice texture and details on those neural spines. You get some of those gray markings on there. I kind of wish some of these did continue onto these parts right here. One of these is the DNA code. There you go, so you can scan that into the fax app. And this other one actually controls the extreme damage action. Just there it is. You got a nice little bloody slash right there. So yeah, I wish they added just some paint apps on here. It just kind of looks a little bare, but other than that, I really like how this figure turned out. Some more paint apps at the base of the spine, and you got more of those osteoderms going all the way down to the tip of the tail. Now the tail is a slightly brighter shade of green than the rest of the body. This is more of a soft rubbery material. This is a hard plastic, so it must have been kind of hard for them to color match it. And let's do the extreme damage from this side because the wound's a little bit bigger. Pretty cool. I like how this feature works. Yeah, I don't really like the gap right here, but you know, it's simple and it's effective, and it's not like the old Kenner figures. Once you pulled the battle damage piece off, it was lost forever. So yeah, really, really cool figure. I like how it turned out. Now for articulation, you get some decent articulation on the neck. You get some nice downward movement, not too much upward movement because you have the start of the sail right here and it does bang into it, but you could get some nice side to side movement. The mouth can close completely flush and open up about that far. Going down to the front legs, they are on a hinge, so you can swing them out a little bit if you would like to. You can move forwards and backwards. Hind legs, you can move forwards and backwards. They have a locking point to keep them in that neutral position, and you have that completely useless 360-degree tail rotation. So yeah, all around awesome, awesome figure. Moving on, weight comparison. First up, here it is with Dr. Alan Grant. And next up here it is with the old Dino Rivals Dimetrodon. So you be the judge. Let me know in the comments which one of these you like better. Personally, I think this new one blows this one out of the way. You know, it's one of the first figures I picked up when I started the channel. I think my first review on the channel was the Dino Rivals Styracosaurus, and I was really slow at doing reviews back then, and I never got around to reviewing the Dimetrodon. And maybe one day I'll go back and review all the older figures I missed. But you know, it's still a nicely sculpted figure, but like the head sculpt on this new one is definitely far superior to this one. I really like this. So I hope they use this mold a lot, and I hope everyone can get their hands on it, because you know, this one, like I said, is just going for absolutely insane amounts of money on eBay. And next up here it is with Extreme Damage Blue. And next up are the other really, really hard to find non-dinosaurs in the line. We have the Primal Attack Scutosaurus, Dinoscape Tanystropheus, and Primal Attack Postosuchus. All these are just notoriously known for being really hard to get. This one seems to be slightly easier, but I can still see the price going way up now since Dinoscape's done. You know, obviously we're into Dominion. The Scutosaurus right here, never ever saw one on shelves. I actually imported a case of that wave from Amazon Japan, you know, a couple years ago, and that's the only one I ever saw. It's such a good mold. I hope they find a way to re-release it, or you know, give us this species again in the line, so you know, people can add it to their collection. And same thing with the Postosuchus. Hopefully Mattel releases another version of that. But yeah, something about these non-dinosaur figures, you know, what do they all have in common? A Styracosaurus figure released in the wave. I guess every time we see anything with a Styracosaurus, we just know that wave is going to be an absolute nightmare to get our hands on. And next we have the new Scorpio Venator. And next is the massive action Yang Chuanosaurus. And next is the mercifully quiet now Therizinosaurus. And lastly, our obligatory Rexy comparison. So final thoughts on the new Dimetrodon. Absolutely love this figure. It's definitely one of my favorites so far that came out in this first round of Dominion figures. I didn't think I was going to like it this much until I got it in hand. It's just really well done, just nicely sculpted. The color works well. That red and green contrast nicely together. It has good articulation, and I do like the extreme damage features. It's fun. You just hit the button. You don't have to worry about losing a piece like the old Kenner figures, and it just looks so much better than the old Dino Rivals one. So yeah, really happy with this thing. And like I said at the beginning of the review, this figure retails for $9.99. I ordered it from Walmart. You can currently find them in Walmart stores because Extreme Damage line is exclusive to them. But I'll leave a link down below to Walmart's site if you want to order this figure online. So that will do it for the review. The pile is thankfully getting much smaller now. Not too many figures left for me to review. Like I said, I still got some Collect Day. I got Namu stuff coming in. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up on the channel. So stay tuned for all that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.